when we gather, we have an important raison d'être. We get together to have a laugh at the unlaughable. We want we want to take what's effectively just flat out grotesque and make it into comedy. I can see how everyone would think that Steve Bannon is a threat to all we hold dear. I apologize if I am insufficiently scared of this dipshit and
the CPI number has
there's going to be a November report. Prices up 6.8%. This is going to be the expected. By the way, the expected inflation number based on what they're talking about compared to last year was 7%. It's 6.8%. It's actually lower. And again, this is year over year and it's all fuel, and we weren't using any last year. Like, that was the least amount of travel in a holiday season in the West, anyways, in multiple decades since you all piled into a station wagon and airplane tickets were paid for in cash because nobody'd ever been hijacked yet. That was the last. So, but this year over year, by the way, if you'll notice in this, I'm sure they'll bring it up. Look at all the empty shelves. I mean, there's just nothing. You can't find the color. Even if you wanted a color, everything is either just beige or white or gray. There are no colors. Your desire to have things in the color you want, it's impossible. It's not going to happen. It's all done. There's no colors.
Come the one to watch, even more than the jobs number, as inflation pushes Americans to laser focus on their everyday expenses. Over the past year, the price of meat.
Hey, look at that. Why would the price of meat be going up there, Chris Jansing? Might be the thing. By the way, Trump sold all of our. My hands are dirty. I've been under the thing. Trump sold all of our beef, corn, and soybeans last year. Basically zeroed out in the middle of the pandemic. Largest order ever to China, gone. And then on top of that, because of the lack of transportation to get products to market, a lot of livestock had to be culled last year. Yeah, so hence there's no stock for this year, hence higher prices, 60%. This business, 8%, by the way, over last year, so it up a whole 12 cents. For a dozen. 58% up for gas because no one was going anywhere. And all of the prices in these things, all these things, that's why. See all these things? All the why? And by these, like I said, these are culled, so that's why there's more. But the reason for these things and half of this is that number right there. Now, that's year over year. November 2020 to 2021. Now, is it 58% over 2019? You ask? No. Let's see. Hold on one second, if I may. I keep having to open up another window on these things, and it always pops up over there. Okay. So, gas prices 2019. Oops, I'm in the wrong one. Gas prices 2019. 2019, what were the prices? That's 2019 as the benchmarks. Oh, ba-doo-dee-doo-ba-doo. Oh, hey. 2019, oh my gosh, look, 50% is there was a dip at the beginning of 2019 and it went back to there. Oh, hey. $3, and then it got down to the 250. It started to go down into 2020. Christmas 2020 when shit started going, and here we go. All right, so this is January 2019. This little dip right here. Let's see what. Here's 2018 is a peak, $3. And then so the average up from, this is 2020, I guess the baseline number. Weekly U.S. average retail 2014 to 2019. Let's see 2020. Let me give me 2020. Hold on, because that'll give me the full gas prices. 2020. Whoops. Oh, hey, look at that. 267, 242, 21 to September. There's, oh, we're up. Oh, I see. Look at that. 29, there we go. 2018, $2.91. We're up 30 cents over that one. We're up way over this one, but we're not way up over this one or this one. And it was already on its way down because of the lower gas prices. And that's where Trump went in and argued with Russia and China, Russia and Saudi Arabia because they were having a big fight. Here we go. Ooh, 2008. Yikes. What's happening there? Wait a minute. But we're still, how are gas prices, even though inflation also dollars in this dollar worth more than this dollar? Why would this dollar, if this dollar's worth more, if a 2008 dollar, right before the crash, what, with that, and then, oh, it already going to 2022. This is projected. Retail gas prices all the way to 2022. That's nice. They already know what it's going to be. And it's 2021 November. It's going to be January here. Boop, like that. So we are up a lot from here. From the lowest. Let's see. So this is November 2021, and this is November 2020 right there. So basically they're picking yeah, here we go. Boop. 2020, it was $2 and just $2.20 a gallon in November, when no one was going in, when the entire country was voting by mail because we weren't going anywhere. We've done this a bunch of times. They talk about this shit all the time. But look at the boop from this. Oh my God, it's $3.49. I can't believe it. Oh my God. Oh look, it's $3.76 in 2014. Here it is, $3.70 in 2013. Oh my gosh, it's $3.90 in 2012. Oh Lord. Oh, and it's all the way up in 2008, right when George Bush was leaving office. Say right before the it was $4.11 per gallon. Yeah, let's look at, that's monthly too. Month. Ba-boink. Yipes. Look at the annual. Yeesh. The annual, it was higher even still. What? I guess we don't have the annual for this one yet. So it'll be back to here. That's what we're seeing annually. Right. Okay, how about by week? That should be crazy. Let's see what week looks like. Show weekly. Oh, you won't do it. Monthly, weekly. Click, go weekly. It won't give me a weekly? Oh, there you go. Weekly. So, and it's going down. Oh, look at that. What's happening there? It's coming up, and then there was a big spike right here, and then it's on its way down, $3.44. Well, oh dear. And still nowhere near the peak of $4 a gallon on average that was happening in 2008, right before the bottom fell out. Now, does anybody think, this is a great example. Let me blow this up a little bit so you guys look at this. Can I just ask anybody a question? And then you can give me your honest answer. If Chris Jansing is in the chat, please have her pipe in. Now, the percentage difference between here and here is a lot. Dear God, gas prices are clearly up insane amounts from here. Aren't they? Are they not? They're up, statistically speaking, from a percentage point, they're up 5-3%. They're up 85% or whatever it is. That's a lot. Look at that. Oh my God. The percentage from right here to right here, gas prices are through the roof. As long as the roof is somewhere around here. Because it isn't, because this would be the roof. Just in case anybody goes, gas prices are through the roof. Technically, the roof right now is $4.11 on average across the whole country. Do you know how fucked that makes most of the expensive areas? Yeah, it's $140 a barrel. They're saying oil's going to go to $70 a barrel. They're expecting maybe as high as $100. But that's it. That's the peak, right? Now, does anybody think that they ran news stories right here? Let's see what this... In 2009, oh my God, I know, look, the economy might be in the shitter, but look how low gas prices are. Gas prices are back to 2004 numbers. Hooray. Rap. And then, now from here to here, dear God, gas prices are up over the course of about a year and a half like insanity. Oh my God. Oh dear God. Right? Look at the percentage difference between here and here. Now, this is just 2 years later, 3 years. I'll stretch this out from here to here. 3 years after this, after it fell off a cliff, it went back up to here, still didn't get back to its all-time high. Still didn't get there. Still never got there. Never didn't get there ever. By the way, still right now, we are not above 2014 levels. We're lower still than 2013. We're even lower than 2012. Twice, the two peaks in 2012, 2011, and we're way below this one. We're in the nature of, arguably, the 2007 and the bottoms of 2013. Oil prices are gas prices after a rise are the lowest they've been, have dropped to 2014 levels. Yeah. And by the way, this is the oil market cratering. This is it making up profits. This is it cratering again. Get used to the fucking idea. This is an ongoing trend. This is where we hit peak of this and then, yeah. So, but it's 58%. But it's 58%, guys, from here. It's up 58% from where it is here. Now it's down 12% from 2012. Anybody? All right. We'll do eggs later.
It's gone up 16%. Eggs are up 8%. Milk roughly 5%. And the price of gas is up 58% over the past 12 months.
Yeah, I think
over the past 12 months.
A technical term is everything is up. Energy and gas, as you just said, is up.
No, it isn't. No, it isn't, Steve. Everything is not up. As a matter of fact, most of that shit is down from a decade ago. Jesus Christ.
Lot, but other things are up as well. And that's really the issue here with inflation.
Changes since last year, 6.8%. 0.8% in the last month. They thought it was going to be a full point. It's not. That's why 6.8%. The market was expecting 7%. They're expecting Jerome Powell to choke point the bond market going into next year and raise interest rates based on that 1% projection. It didn't happen. More than likely, this will cause a market rally. They know this, by the way. And by overshooting this in the business markets, they know it will create a pump.
It's rising from what it was. It's persistent.
It's rising from what it was. It's also down from what it was. But who's counting, Steve?
And it's widespread. I think those are the three things that we're looking at here. And there may be more to come, I think, which is not necessarily in this report, but two particular areas.
Also, wages are up. Almost 10%.
Now, one is that believe it's probably too early for the wage gains that we've seen out there to be priced in to actual consumer.
No, the wage gains are priced in largely.
That may be
because they are priced in because of UI over the last 8 months. Unemployment insurance, the tail end of that, everybody hanging on, not having a job, and just waiting out UI as long as they could until it officially dried up, giving them a stockpile of cash to pull from, which is affecting the market in a huge way. And he knows this, and this is bullshit.
There may be more housing inflation, which has been on the rise to price in to the index here. So it's not just that it's...
Yeah, nobody's buying a house at Christmas, fucko. That's the other thing, too. We're past where people are locked in. Home sales will go up again starting in the spring, late spring, as they do, as people start selling their house before they move because their kids are out of school, and there are large trends on this. The other thing is market slowdowns in available materials that made prices go up because people were buying fresh houses that required fresh funds. There was no... Do they even teach supply and demand anymore?
It is now, which is a 39-year high, but the issues are maybe more to come.
A 39-year high. Now you understand why the Biden administration, Natalie, Natalie's our co-host for the day.
Hi, Natalie.
This is why the Biden administration were giving background briefings to the media, and this is why Don Lemon was out the other day saying, "Hey, it's 2 cents different on gasoline in."
Yeah, that's because it is 2 cents different. And by the way, for the record, can I bring up the same thing again? This my favorite $7 gas in California. Remember this guy? Remember this is one of our favorite ones. This is our favorite kind of go-tos. Fact or fiction? California gas stations charge $7. What? California $7 a gallon for gas? Oh my God, $7? That's true. Yes, it's true. Premium is $7.59 a gallon, $8.50. Holy shit. However, let's see. In July 2019, same gas station was charging $11.75 for a gallon. Yeah, that's right. That's right. If you paid for gas in California at this day for $7.60, you got a deal compared to 2019. Go fuck yourself, Steve Bannon.
In California, right? The Biden administration.
By the way, you sound great. You don't sound congested at all. It doesn't sound like Omicron to me at all. I would just go see a veterinarian for whatever skin condition you have.
Can't hide from the numbers.
By the way, all jokes aside, I cannot stand Steve Bannon. I consider him a traitor and a disgusting human being. I think he should spend the rest of his life in jail for a myriad of crimes that he has committed. But that shit needs looking at. I do not wish death on anyone. That thing has gotten that weird, like, black collection of moles on his fucking face. If he's lucky, that's black mold, which it wouldn't surprise me because he looks like he has the same skin quality as the troll who runs the death machine that takes a year of Wesley's life away in The Princess Bride. That's fucking nasty. Go see a doctor. Get your head scraped. If I was you, I would just take out this whole section and then have them pull your face back at the same time. Double up.
The Republican Party senators, led by Mitch McConnell, sold out the nation last night. They
yeah. By the way, he means the nation of Russia by not allowing the debt ceiling, by allowing the debt ceiling to get raised in an appropriate fashion to pay the debts of the Donald Trump years. The debts of because we're still in that, that's that budget. That's when this happens. We'll talk about raising the debt ceiling next year, blaming that on Biden after, of course, they have enough tax revenue where they can go watch for like August. They're going, yeah, we actually have a surplus. We're gonna talk about we'd love to do a tax cut on the middle class, but if the Republicans take over the House, they're going to give it to rich people. Watch that to happen.
About the nation by taking the brake off of this insanity, the spending. The reason.
No, asshole. That was the brake on the spending. We have a brake so that we don't careen off a cliff.
You have 39-year high in inflation that the Biden administration can't lie.
39-year high in inflation. Is that what it is? Anybody want to do that math? A 39-year high in inflation. You mean in percentage change? Which isn't even true because the percentage change around 2008 was extraordinary. Bigger than the one we're going through right now. Everybody knows that on all fronts. The problem is it undermined, because it was the mortgage industry, it fucked up real estate. So it was the only thing that didn't recover after 2008. So the jacked up switch over number, nobody was buying houses immediately after that unless they were buying them to flip them.
Been their way away from. You have demand pull because we put too much cash into this.
That's what it is. Demand pull. That's the problem, guys. See, people have too much money to make decisions with, and you can't trust poor people with that much cash on hand giving $3,000 to a bunch of poor folks who were hit by a pandemic and may have lost their entire nest egg and job while their businesses were shut down while Trump was fucking around with this thing. You can't give them that kind of, and then give them a child tax credit that they get direct money for the raising of their children that they were paying, that they're using to buy better food, driving the price of food up because organics are selling better and therefore more organics are coming to market because people can afford to buy more organic food for their fucking children, which is exactly what he's talking about. Let's understand. The price, that big jack up on the price of eggs, it largely has to do with a leap in the cost of organic eggs.
Even Larry Summers realizes that $1.9 trillion last support mechanism in the summer under Biden was too much, shouldn't have been done. So you have demand pull.
Does he? Does he? So you're trusting him now? You didn't trust him before?
Also have supply push.
Oh, look at that. A 666 in the super chat already. We've got 666 people in the chat room joining us right now. We've crested over that number in the YouTube chat by itself. That didn't include all the other chats that are flying and all the people who sit back, watch the show, and hi, I'm waving at you right now. I know you're not in the chat room. I know you just watch. Hi. You don't have to join in the chat at all. I'm just glad you're here. I really am. Some people just need to ride this out. They don't have to say anything. They participate by letting me take some of, like, this cement block off their chest that the news puts on every day. If I have a reason for being these days, kids, it's that I can walk over to you while you're laying on the couch or sitting in your chair or lying in your bed or if you're, God forbid, watching in your car, I don't know, while it self-drives. I can just come over and just take that cement block right off your chest so that you don't, because there are serious things to deal with in our world. There are serious considerations. There are serious problems in our world, and this ain't one of them. None of this shit matches up to the horrors that we've gone through as a country and that we're still dealing with in reality. These kind of things are economic corrections that will happen because we all just went through the pit of a horrible pandemic and we're coming out of that. And many of you have survived it, and I'm very happy. And some of you, like me, have lost people during it, and it's been heartbreaking, and it's been a huge burden. And compared to this shit that they're trying to turn the last 10 months into the worst of it, fuck off with that nonsense. And I'm not going to let it stand, and that's why I'm here for you. And I'm so glad that we've hit 666 people in our YouTube chat room, just so I could trigger the people at Flashpoint who hate watch me. I see you, Gene the Jesus Machine. I see you, Greg Kelly. That's my Greg Kelly impersonation right now. pretty dead on, I got to say.
Right, because the supply chains are all messed up. The logistics chains are all messed up. We didn't.
Yeah, the supply chains are all messed up. That's obviously something that occurred in the last 10 months, not the last 20 years. Secondly, this asshole was cheering for business bottom lines as people went to, as businesses moved their factories to China, so he can go fuck himself now that he's on the tit of a former Chinese billionaire who managed to get out with his funds and now has a problem with the CCP in the last 3 years.
Structural changes of bringing back the supply chains from China. So now you have.
By the way, no, not just from China. That's definitely part of the problem. But the supply chains from all over the world are a problem because transportation was a problem because everything fucking shut down. And Europe especially, everybody just, to save their lives because they valued them, walked right off the line. The factories just stopped. And so those things sat, some of the computers and cars and shit that were made during that time, where they literally shut the factories because of it, and everybody went home and to ride it out in Germany and France and Italy and England and all these places. When they came back and reopened those factories, whatever they were working on, the materials they had that they were working with right there, were wasted, thrown the fuck out. So they had to start from scratch.
The worst of both possible worlds. It's exploding. New polling out.
No. I don't care what the polling says unless it's based on reality. Unless you poll people and show them this fucking chart first. Ask people about gas prices. But when you do, show them this chart. Show them the absolute cost of gas. Yeah, it was down, and it certainly was down during 2020, right here. Now, Russia and Saudi Arabia were in a fight for the last 3 years to kind of drive each other out of business for a while before the Nord Stream pipeline could come in. That was Russia's plan. But show everybody this one. Please, in the polling, show everybody this. Show where gas prices are, where they are currently. Show this little nudge where it's going back down. See that little thing where it's heading back down? And by the way, there's a reason why they're writing out this storyline about gas, because it's going to continue to go down over to the first of the year, and it's going to level out about here again. This is a compensatory number. This number is a compensatory number between this number and this number. The making up for the money lost here is this extra piece right here. That's what that is. That's what gas and oil companies are doing, and that's also the extra need for fuel. The backup need for fuel that was caused by all this. Because now everybody needs everything and they need it yesterday. Chris Jansing, MSNBC, I love you guys. CNN, hi. Stop it. If you poll people, show them this fucking chart. Show them gas prices. Show them, how about this? Show them this shit that I just showed you about the $7 a gallon gas in California at the station you used that was $11.75 in 2019. How many people think that the polling would be different if you showed people those numbers before? We have, and by the way, the primary financial burden we have in the United States for most people is not gas or food, it's housing. Because we do not have enough housing in this country for demand. And because there's this tipping point of demand versus available properties, people can be pushed into higher and higher levels of rent to live in a bigger space because there's not a house available where they need to move or where they want to move. There just isn't volume available. So rent can be driven higher and higher on those folks who could move into a house, who could afford a house, but there's this tipping point of rent gets so high that the money they would put away or set aside, it's not even affordable housing. Affordable housing is kind of a generic term for stuff, which is usually what people call, MJ Daniel, subsistence housing. absolute bottom rung poor housing, like week to week or month to month hotels in Appalachia and poor areas, right? This, like, overtly poor housing, like Section 8 housing, that kind of stuff. That's not where there's a gap, because there's actually quite a bit of that now. There's been big movements, especially in big cities, towards that in rent control areas. There's been a huge expansion of those things in the last 35 years. What there has not been is an expansion of effectively middle-class housing. There's been a tremendous amount of suburban expansion, but not at the rate of family growth, to match family growth. So you have a lot of families that could afford a house payment, paying a house payment to live in an apartment, because to be near their work or be near their job, they couldn't afford a house that close by, and there's not enough of them for sale anyways, and there's a bidding war, and there's been a lot of foreign cash thrown into those things because they would rather buy those houses and rent them to those people. We have a volume problem as far as housing in the United States, and that's what jacks the price up. Supply and demand. There is not enough supply in housing, and the real estate market and the people who have real estate investments, especially those on city councils, fuck all this nonsense about people in local and city governments and state governments being beholden to gun lobbies and corporations and chemical companies. That's a problem, but nowhere near the problem of them being in bed or having their own real estate investments that drive their concern more than anywhere else. Their long-term cost of their house being their primary investment has more control over their decisions about how they're going to allow more housing to be made than any stock that they own. Because a stock they can get out of in a day. But the house in the neighborhood they go to, where they live, where their kids go to school and all that kind of shit, they're not getting out of there. They're hanging on to that shit forever. That is the primary solution. As mayor of Los Angeles, one of my primary drives would be a housing boom. And if I push for that, and I will, the city council will dogpile me for bringing it up. Real estate investors and real estate developers, there's a war between developers and investors right now, because developers know that there's money to be made in the selling and the making all the time. The investors don't want that. So there's this fight going on between the people who the demand drives the price up, and the supply folks would eat into that. That's the primary reason. That is it. You fix that, and the cost of living in the United States tapers off, because everything else is manageable and has to do with elements of consumer choice. You can shop easier for alternative anything. You could drive further to get cheap gas easier than you can move your fucking house. That's true for everyone. It's also it's also, you must know why places like Las Vegas is expanding as a suburb of Los Angeles. That's what's happening here. People who need to live and work in Los Angeles but can't afford it and need a bigger house for, having their own internal studio and better internet, and can't afford to live in Bel Air or some shit like that. That's what's happening to Vegas. Vegas is becoming a suburb of Los Angeles. A 1-hour flight. It's cheaper to buy a big house here, fly to LA, Uber to your auditions, Uber back and fly home. How fucked is that? And it's not because we're lacking land mass. LA has plenty of it. And here's the thing. You could solve it simply by allowing development of larger, taller apartment buildings. That's it. Because before it was earthquakes, nobody wanted a building over 3 stories for apartments. Now we can do 8-story apartment buildings easily with not only just retrofitting, but new architectural techniques, deeper foundations, all that kind of stuff. They can withstand these earthquakes. We know now we have materials that can withstand it. We have better engineering, and you can do it. And people aren't afraid of it, too. People used to be afraid to live in any building that was 3 stories high in Los Angeles. And now they're not. I mean, yeah, and Chinese housing is a joke. I don't, you know what, Josh? Josh says, careful how they might steal your plans. Good. Because my plan is a solid one. I don't need credit for it to benefit my country. I don't care. Yeah. So, yes, roller foundations. You can get much bigger buildings, and it's stronger. And Chinese development is just bullshit. That nobody is ever going to live in the houses that they're building. No one. They're rotten buildings. They call it tofu dung. The buildings are made out of tofu. It's shit. You can go up and literally claw your way through a wall, just like this. Just go like that, and the wall starts to go spongy in your hand. They don't care. There's fucking hay in the foundations. It's terrible. That's not the problem in the United States. The United States is, you got 10 people on a city council. All of them are millionaires. All of them have $1 million houses or multi-million-dollar houses. And that's the primary investment they have in their life, like every other American. And they don't want those prices to go down ever. Not a little bit. And the weird thing is, it really wouldn't affect long-term in any major way their investment at all. Those houses would still be worth, arguably even more because they're more isolated and that kind of stuff. But the development of like apartment blocks and, not even low cost ones. You need middle class, large scale apartment buildings. Anyways, I get on that rant and it drives me fucking crazy. I'm not a psychotic narcissist. Thank you. I am a genius. That is technically true. But don't get me started. It's a title I hate to share with Einstein because I'm just saying, if he was alive, we'd have a lot to argue about.
Also today from CNBC, absolutely catastrophic for the Biden administration, and yet you got Jim.
Catastrophic. Hold on. That was from the we're watching the same thing. What, the CNBC stuff?
Absolutely catastrophic for the Biden administration, and yet you got Jim Cramer and others running around. Oh, it's a Biden boom, greatest economy in world history, all of it.
Well, guess what, asshole? It kind of is, especially compared to where the rest of the world finds itself. Could it be better? I guess. Rising wages in the United States ultimately will translate into a better buying position for Americans for goods from overseas, from all over the world.